Hi, everybody. I wanted to show you how to use the spectral analysis software to collect data for our enzyme lab. So hopefully, as you walk over to one of the laptops that is set up at a lab station, you're going to see a screen that looks like this. The software and the spectrophotometer should be set up and ready to go for data collection. So to begin collecting data, we're going to press the collect button. And I'm going to go ahead and do the data collection for our negative control first, and then I'll do a data collection setup for a positive control trial, just so that we can look at the differences. So I'm going to go ahead and put the first cuvette in for the negative control. And notice down below, we have an absorbance measurement here. We're going to go ahead and press the keep button. And notice that the default units are concentration in moles per liter. We can go back and change that later on. But for right now, I'm going to enter 1 for 1 minute. And I'm going to collect keep point. Okay. I'm going to remove that cuvette, and I'm going to add the next cuvette. This is the 2-minute time point. And again, press keep. 2 this time. This is the 2-minute time point, and press keep point. Next, I'll do the 3-minute time point. Keep 3 minutes, keep point. And then finally, the 4-minute time point. We're just gonna, or you've only allowed the reaction to run for 4 minutes in total. So finally, keep 4, keep point. Now I can go ahead and press stop. This is going to allow me to go over to the data set and go do a couple of things. So first, I can rename the data set. I'm going to go ahead and do that since this is my negative control data. Okay. And I can go over to the column where concentration was listed. Oops. And I can rename it. Since I'm collecting data over time, over the course of minutes, I can press apply, and now we have our data collected. Okay, so there are the data for the negative control. Let's go ahead and collect data for a positive control. So this time, I'm going to press collect again. It's going to prompt me as to whether or not I want to append this new data or these new data to the existing data set or to a new data set, and I want to add these data to a new data set. But just like before, my 1-minute time point. This time though, since we've changed the settings, our units are correct. So there's my 1 minute. Here comes 2 minutes. And 3 minutes. And finally, 4 minutes. And once again, I can press the stop button. And this time I can rename the data set since these data represent my positive control. I can go ahead and, since this is with the enzyme, rename that. All right, so notice now that we have the data plotted, ultimately what we're trying to measure though are not just the absorbance values, but the rate of the enzyme catalyzed reaction. And what we can do in order to make that measurement is to actually plot a best fit line through these data points. So to do that, there is a button over here in the lower left-hand corner of the screen. You want to click on that button. You want to apply a curve fit, and you want to accept the default of a linear fit. So we're going to notice a couple of things here. First, the red line, that represents the negative control. And we can see that the slope of that line is in essence 0. Yes, it has a slight negative slope, but that's probably due more to the fact that there was some variability in the measurements in a way that is not truly representative of the fact that the absorbance decreased over the course of time. And I'm feeling pretty good about that because my correlation coefficient isn't super, super high. But if I scroll down to the blue data, here I can see I have a positive slope. My correlation coefficient is nearly 1, so I'm feeling pretty good about the relationship between absorbance and time as variables. And even so, I can see that the slope of my line at 0.09 is not the largest value in the whole wide world, but it is clearly at least 10 times greater than the value measured for the negative control. So I'm feeling pretty good that the enzyme actually had an effect on increasing the rate of this particular reaction. All right, so my hope is that with all of this information in mind, you now have what you need at your disposal to collect data for this experiment. But as always, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. One last thing before I forget. Probably going to want to save these data before you get too carried away. So in the upper left-hand corner, press that button, select save. You can give the file a name. Since you're working on a device that is not your own, you're probably then going to want to take that file and upload it to your own Google Drive. All right, now that's it. Thanks for your attention. I really appreciate it.